Hello and welcome to County Fermanagh in Northern Ireland for the Enniskillen 100, the latest instalment in our road racing series. And what a thrilling season it's been so far.
Then we're away. It will be win number 2 for Derek McGee. Unleashed onto the circuit. He can get on the power now, and he can. Here comes McGee. Keels up the inside. Oh, McLean.
It's number 13 on the inside.
Unbelievable. Got away well, didn't he?
Oh, he's got the grab on the outside.
Oh, no!
Oh, Garcili is down.
It's just like being attached by a rubber band.
Oh, he's down.
Harrison does not fall off motorbike.
Brilliant stuff.
Well, this is just the second year of this event, and what a real pleasure it is to be here. The Enniskillen 100 was actually formed back in 1929 and then was revived 12 months ago for the first time in 66 years on the Arnie circuit. And this track has a little bit of everything: fast straights, sweeping bends and blind jumps. It's a short run from the start line to the first turn at Arnie Corner. Then a tight, undulating section takes the riders through the village. It's then fast and open through Montgomery's and onto the final turn at 5 Points before a long straight and Sam's jump into the finish line. We've action coming up from the 125 Moto 3, Super Twins and Superbikes. But first up is the Supersport class, and Kevin Fitzpatrick's in pole position.
We're all set then for 6 laps of the Euro Auction Supersport race here at the Fermanagh and Omagh District Council Enniskillen Road Races. Engage gear, watch the lights. 75, pole position, Kevin Fitzpatrick, alongside him Darrell Tweed and Dom Herbertson. It's a cracking start by Tweed by the looks of things. We're on board with Kevin Fitzpatrick. Now, has he got Tweed just ahead of him as they go through Sam's jump? They're side by side, but it's Fitzpatrick, is it? 72, Gareth Keys is up into 4th place for the looks of things. Dominic Herbertson back in 3rd. No Michael Sweeney or Thomas Maxwell. They qualified on row 2. They've not made it onto the start for this one. The opening lap of 6. This is Dominic Herbertson we're looking back at. His first time here at Enniskillen. 3.0 miles the distance. Oh, and a little wobble. It's Tweed and Fitzpatrick at the front. Herbertson is there as well in 3rd. Ryan Marr also looking good. Forrest Dunn, Gareth Keys, Alan Johnston. Oh, Fitzpatrick up the inside. Takes over. Tweed back into 2nd. We're riding with Forrest Dunn. He started behind Ryan Marr on the grid. This looks like it. Well, it looked like it, but it wasn't. Forrest Dunn from Cornwall on the Honda, his own team, B&W Racing. So Fitzpatrick then on the Kawasaki, leading from Darrell Tweed on the Honda. What a course this is. Mainly left-handers. The rally agencies: Arnie Cross, McCulloch's, Drysone, Grandsack, all the way around to Sam's jump. So Fitzpatrick then still setting the pace out in front. Tweed behind him. Herbertson very interested in 3rd place. We're on the opening lap of 6. So Kevin Fitzpatrick, pole position for him. The only racer to lap under the 1 minute 51 second barrier in qualifying. Looks like these three are breaking away, a little gap back. So Dominic Herbertson, 3rd place at the moment. Happy just to let Kevin Fitzpatrick and Darrell Tweed sort themselves out in front. Dominic Herbertson on the Kawasaki. Here they come. That looked like it was Herbertson. Both wheels in the air and a little wiggle at the bottom. Again, you can see how bumpy it is at the front, those forks really being worked over time. Just a hint of a gap this time from Fitzpatrick and Tweed. We're on lap 2 of 6. Kevin Fitzpatrick, former Irish road race senior support champion. He was 7/10 of a second quicker than Darrell Tweed in qualifying. That's who we're on board with. Tweed looked as if perhaps he'd have the #1 position at the end of the opening lap, but it's Fitzpatrick with his name there at the moment. But Tweed and Herbison perhaps just content to sit in behind. Riding once more with Dominic Herbertson on the Davis Motorsport machine, and Enniskillen debutant. There's over a second between him and the reigning ultra lightweight Manx Grand Prix champion Darrell Tweed in qualifying. Just a little bit closer between them in the race at the moment. Still no change in the order. Fitzpatrick from Tweed from Herbertson. We're on lap 3 of 6. Again, just look at those forks, up and down, up and down. That's how bumpy it is, and it's left to right as well. The front wheel really being worked. Tight and twisty, this circuit on the back wheel. Kevin Fitzpatrick, oh, and Darrell Tweed out of shape as well. Out of shape maybe, but certainly in control. A spectacular circuit. You can see why it's been reintroduced into the road racing calendar here in Northern Ireland. They first raced here 90 years ago, and it was a lapse of 66 years before racing started up again last year in 2018. And it only promises to get bigger and better. Fantastic effort by the Enniskillen and District Motorcycle Club in getting this race back on the road racing map.
Dominic is one of the characters. He was here for the launch of the Enniskillen Road Races here.
It's still Fitzpatrick setting the pace. We're on board with the man in second. Still chasing down Kevin Fitzpatrick, trying to keep him in his sights. So there we go, we start lap 4. Further back, 66, Alan Johnston on the Kawasaki. 107, David Murphy on the Suzuki. Oh, here comes Herbertson up the inside. Second place, can he brake and slow in time? He can. He's through, so Dominic Herbertson into second. Darrell Tweed back to third. And all the while, Kevin Fitzpatrick still setting the pace out in front. It's a furious pace at that. Here they go. Get ready for takeoff. That gap has increased, but Herbertson now in second place. My goodness me, just like Kells a couple of weeks ago, it's a motocross circuit on tarmac. I think Herbertson could be gaining. I think he could be gaining on Fitzpatrick. It is some gap to make up. Slightest mistake from Fitzpatrick could let Tweed in, and of course the slightest mistake from from Herbertson, sorry, could let Tweed back in. Back with Johnston and Murphy, still battling it out further down the field. So, having lost second place, can Darrell Tweed regain the position from Dominic Herbertson?
Then there was a bit of 1 second gap.
So there is another lap into the Rally Agency's Arnie Cross left-hand turn. Then it's on to McCulloch's, then Drystone, then Grandsack. Up to the three-way in. It's still Kevin Fitzpatrick in the lead. And too quick from Murphy as he overshoots. Well, Herbertson now, can he close on Kevin Fitzpatrick on the brakes? Darrell Tweed trying to do the same on Herbertson. So then Kevin Fitzpatrick, it looks like it's going to be his race. Herbertson has got a big gap to close. He's dropped Tweed a little bit. Tweed has lost some ground, but Kevin Fitzpatrick looks as if he's on his way to the checkered flag in this, the Euro Auction Supersport race. We're on the final lap of 6. Dominic Herbertson, I think he'll be quite happy to come here, first time at Enniskillen, and take a second place in the Supersport 600. He qualified third fastest, of course. The bike's fairly evenly matched for straight line speed.
Pole position, man. Not once, not twice, but...
So then into the left-hand turn at the Moto 5 points, on his way to Sam's jump for the final time. Kevin Fitzpatrick looking every inch a winner, takes the checkered flag. So Fitzpatrick win the victory. Dominic Herbertson is second. Darrell Tweed is third. Fantastic race. So 18 miles of 600cc racing. Kevin Fitzpatrick on the Kawasaki takes the win. So then Forrest Dunn in fourth place ahead of Ryan Marr with Gareth Key sixth, Darrell Tweed in third, Dominic Herbertson second, Kevin Fitzpatrick on top, less than 3 seconds covering the top 3.
Kevin, congratulations. Talk us through the race. What was your tactics? How did it go?
Just try and get off the line clean and into the first road end clean, and I kind of done that, but young Tweed kind of was alongside me and got ahead of me up the road, so I managed to pass him down into the second road end, and then just tried to keep ahead of them, kept going. Yeah, it worked anyway.
What does your very first race win mean to you?
I don't know how to say it. It's mad. It means a lot. It's great. I'm delighted.
Coming up next, it's the 125 Moto 3 race. The Enniskillen 100's the latest event in the Northern Irish National Road Racing season. Next, it's the 125 Moto 3 class, and it's great to see a Dunlop on the grid. Gary, son of the world-famous Joey, and riding in his father's livery, along with the famous yellow helmet.
Kevin Fitzpatrick paddling off the line as Sam Grief is on the throttle much quicker, and so too Melissa Kennedy as we ride with Gary Dunlop, and Kennedy away like a rocket. Certainly have to nurse the throttles on the two-stroke bikes as they hit the brakes. So the turn, Fitzpatrick seemingly up to speed as he nips inside Malcolm Love. Grief with a wiggle and a wobble. Kennedy, Dunlop and Fitzpatrick still huddled together, but it's Fitzpatrick who blasts through to second. Melissa Kennedy just struggling for corner speed as Dunlop reclaims third. Dunlop with Grief fixed firmly in his sights. And Fitzpatrick again with another superb move as he slips into the lead on the short run through. So Fitzpatrick's the new race leader. And Gary Dunlop still holding third. So Fitzpatrick the new race leader, or is he? As Grief with plenty of lower range power to retake the lead. It certainly didn't look like Fitzpatrick missed a gear, although the 125 may just take a touch longer to hook up. Dunlop is gaining, and he's through. The third rider to lead this race. Gary Dunlop leading as he hops over the crest, and it's Sam Grief on the Paul Robinson back Moto 3 in second. Grief refusing to let go of Dunlop, but time is running out. It will be a win for Gary Dunlop. He's on a fine run of form. Sam Grief in second, with Kevin Fitzpatrick, the best 125 machine, in third. This is how they finish after 6 laps, with Melissa Kennedy having to settle for 5th behind Nigel Moore, and just over a second separating Grief and race winner Dunlop.
Gary, how was that for you?
Yeah, it was great fun. It was pretty tough out there, as it's a bit warm, and whenever you're cramped into them wee bikes, it's hard work. But that was a good, clean race there. It was nice and safe. Kevin and Sam's real safe riders, and it makes it all the fun whenever it's like that.
Your bike makes a bit of a statement here too. It's great to see it in your dad's colours.
Yeah, we said we'd do something this year because we've been running the yellow and black for a couple of years now, and it's the 20th anniversary since his famous one at the Ulster Grand Prix. So we changed it up a bit, and it seems to be pretty popular. So
Get him proud today.
Yeah.
So a race win and a lap record for Gary Dunlop. Next, it's the open class. The Superbikes are on the circuit. Weather conditions still absolutely perfect for racing. Thomas Maxwell's been going well on the Irish roads this season, and he could be the man to watch here.
Reduced race distance for the Clock of the Valley Windows. Open race, 3 laps instead of 6. Kevin Fitzpatrick on pole, Thomas Maxwell alongside him on the front row with Forrest Dunn. Ryan Marr, Daryl Tweed, no Michael Sweeney again. We're on board with Thomas Maxwell as Kevin Fitzpatrick blasts through, and so too Daryl Tweed. Tweed into second place and hard on the brakes. Fitzpatrick turns in time, Daryl Tweed goes wide, and I think that is Maxwell who's gone from 3rd to 1st. That was Arnie Cross onto McCulloch's, and then onto Drystone. So Maxwell leads, Fitzpatrick 2nd, Dunn is in 3rd place. Behind them, Ryan Marr, Daryl Tweed, Dominic Herbertson, Paul Gotland, no Alan Connor. Side by side, Fitzpatrick from Maxwell, and Fitzpatrick just squirts away. My goodness me, oh, Forrest Dunn's gone through. Oh, Maxwell, has he got a problem? Now this is the second wave of riders, David Murphy leading them. That's Paul Cranston, the evergreen Paul Cranston. Wow, wow, wow. What a cracking start to this race. Riding with Daryl Tweed, well, he certainly threw the dice at the start of the race, but his numbers didn't come up, and he was in all sorts of trouble at turn 1. Kevin Fitzpatrick on the Kawasaki. Oh, where did he come from, Forrest Dunn? My goodness me! Wow! He hop, skipped and jumped his way into 1st place. My goodness me, Forrest Dunn wants this one. So Forrest Dunn is now our leader. Thomas Maxwell shaking their head. Something's not quite right, as we saw. Fitzpatrick coming under pressure from Daryl Tweed now. Tweed going through into 2nd place. Oh, yep, that's it. Game over. Thomas Maxwell, what a shame, was going so well. So Kevin Fitzpatrick is being mugged by Forrest Dunn, and he's being mugged by Daryl Tweed, but don't call the police. He's going to try and find his way back into 2nd place. All the while, these two are scrapping away. This man, Forrest Dunn, majestic. Oh, a big wobble further back for Dominic Herbertson. Looks like Maxwell just limping his way back. Forrest Dunn, superb from him so far. Dominic Herbertson back in 4th place. A big moment for him. Oh, Paul Cranston. This is Kevin Fitzpatrick, 3rd place. Daryl Tweed just ahead of him. 2nd wave of riders, David Murphy. 66 is Alan Johnston. 72, Gareth Keys. This is on board with Gareth Keys, and again, the road surface looks super smooth, but the front forks say otherwise.
Someone across the line that time.
And Forrest Dunn looks as if he's going to take a win. It was some move to take over from Kevin Fitzpatrick at the front. I fell out of my seat when he came through. Well, Fitzpatrick trying to stay with Daryl Tweed. So then, one more lap to go. And Forrest Dunn really is looking the business out in front. And Fitzpatrick has now been passed by Dominic Herbertson, so Herbertson into third place. Kevin Fitzpatrick, the same spot where he was mugged by Darrell Tweed, now back to fourth. Well, he started in pole position. He would have hoped for at least a podium. There's still a possibility of that, of course, but he's now got to get past Dominic Herbertson. Forrest Dunn, nice and measured. Darrell Tweed just using a little bit more of the road. Dominic Herbertson again bouncing around all over the place. It looks like he's got the suspension set quite hard. Fitzpatrick as Herbertson. Nice and neat, still in third place, but Fitzpatrick right on his rear, still menacing, still looking threatening, but just not out of the corner as quick as Dominic Herbertson. Thomas Maxwell then making his way back.
Okay, so we're waiting for them then. I think you had something to announce there, Jeff.
Well, Kevin Fitzpatrick won the opening Supersport race. It looks like he's going to have to settle for a solid fourth place, shall we say. Here is Forrest Dunn. Nice handy lead out in front. Must be somewhere in the region of 3 seconds over Ballymoney's Darrell Tweed. Dominic Herbertson on the Davis Motorsport machine, still in third place. Kevin Fitzpatrick back and forth. Checkered flag for Forrest Dunn. He takes the win. Fitzpatrick will have to settle for fourth place. What a cracking open race that is. This is how it winds up then, with Kevin Fitzpatrick ahead of Ryan Marr and David Murphy. Dominic Herbertson in third, Darrell Tweed second, Forrest Dunn, the race winner.
Very satisfying victory around this pretty tricky circuit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's amazing. It's first time here, obviously a newcomer here as well. So, yeah, the circuit's tricky. It's pretty wild in places, but it sort of suits my style of riding, I guess.
You seem to have clicked with the circuit pretty quickly.
Circuits like this, or maybe adverse weather conditions, sort of suit me, you know. So it just seemed to work. So hopefully more of the same later on, you know.
There's more Superbikes to come, but next, it's the Super Twins. The Enniskillen 100 continues in Northern Ireland with the Super Twins next on the grid.
Dominic Herbertson rolls up into pole position ahead of the Armstrong Engineering Super Twin race. Alongside him is the space where Kevin Baker should have been. We wish him a speedy recovery. Paul Williams completes the front row. This is it then. Herbertson was a full second quicker than anyone else during qualifying, and Vinnie Brennan looking to be quickest as he hits the front, chased by Paul Williams and Herbertson. They'll be on the brakes any moment. Is Herbertson close enough for a move on Brennan as Tommy Henry appears from nowhere? He began on row 3, but he's up to third behind Herbertson and just ahead of Williams. This could be a corker. Brennan still leads from Herbertson. And a slight gap opening back to Henry in third, with Williams in fourth. He started on the front row but finds himself one place down upon which he qualified. This could be a good opportunity for him to make a move on Henry as they slow. Incredibly narrow circuit, so overtaking space is at a premium. Meanwhile, Williams has passed Henry for third. Everywhere Brennan has gone, Herbertson has followed. Paul Williams is looking to join in too. Herbertson closer to Brennan than he has been at any point since this race began. It's all about top speed along this section and then braking fairly hard for the approaching left-hand turn. They're side by side, Brennan on the inside, but Herbertson able to slow and turn in time, is he? And the Englishman takes over at the front. Brennan unable to defend his line and slips back to second. That worked well for Herbertson, who was also able to have good speed out of the turn, whereas Brennan had to square things off somewhat. It may also have allowed Williams to gain some ground on Brennan as well. He's still a huge threat in third and is certainly closing in on Brennan. Williams was quicker than Vinnie Brennan during qualifying, so he will fancy his chances, but right now he has to be content with sitting in third. For how long, though? Herbertson looks as if he's right in the groove. The distance back to this battle for second continues to grow, and Williams as close to Brennan now as he has been at any time during the race. Now, can we see a move on the brakes? It could be as Williams arrives and Brennan takes avoiding action, not expecting him to come through. Williams now up to second, but surely it's too late for him to do anything about Herbertson. Dominic Herbertson with a comfortable lead. He's 3 or 4 seconds to the good at least over Paul Williams. Vinnie Brennan just nicking up through the gearbox with his left foot. One more lap. That's 3 miles of this Enniskillen circuit remaining for Dominic Herbertson. It looks increasingly like he will take the spoils. It just has to be too much to ask of Paul Williams to bring down the gap to Herbertson. His only hope is that the race leader makes a mistake. 29, the unmistakable Alistair Howarth, something of a 400cc specialist, but enjoying a good run in the Super Twins at Enniskillen. Much more sedate from Herbertson this time, although he just finds that kink on the right-hand side of the bottom. He probably doesn't even notice at this speed. Herbertson with plenty to play with. Riding with Herbertson, and the forks proving just how bumpy this circuit is. You have to say he will go on and win this. He has plenty of time in hand, and ever since he made it to the front, he's been in total command. The checkered flag is in the distance, and Dominic Herbertson will win the Super Twin race, his first time at Enniskillen, and he takes a victory. He will have a massive smile beneath his visor. Vinnie Brennan bags a podium position for his third place finish behind Paul Williams, but Dominic Herbertson proving just too good for the rest of them.
Dominic, a race winner in Enniskillen, pretty good feeling.
Well, you can't get much better than that, man, can you? There you go, no over the moon. It's obviously it's been a difficult day for the club trying to get as many laps in as they can, so they're doing a brilliant job to get us all out there. 3-lap dash, but makes you pull your finger out earlier anyway.
What a thrilling race, one of the closest of the day. Next, it's the second Supersport race. Kevin Fitzpatrick's the favourite once again. He's in pole position and hoping for a repeat of his first race victory.
We roll up with Dominic Herbertson ahead of the Plantscapes, Aaron Landscaping and McIntyre Repairs Supersport Race 2. He starts on the front row of the grid alongside Darrell Tweed with Kevin Fitzpatrick in pole. Forrest Dunn was fifth fastest in qualifying, so sits in the middle of row 2. Here we go then, 3 laps, another reduced race distance, so this really should be action-packed. Tweed looking strong, Fitzpatrick not so much as they twist the throttle and hurl themselves toward turn 1. It looks to be between Tweed and Fitzpatrick as to who will lead out of the first corner. It looks like Tweed is chucking in everything in an effort to grab top spot as his rear goes light. It's all rather congested, but it's Fitzpatrick in front, Tweed second, Herbertson third. But how long will it stay like that? Here they come. Fitzpatrick, Tweed, Herbertson, Marr, Dunn, Keys, Murphy, Johnston and Degnan, as quick as that. Fitzpatrick is having a good day. Tweed hoping to spoil it somewhat over these 3 laps. Riding with Tweed as he seeks to hang on to Fitzpatrick. The roads look smooth, but they are rather bumpy. And that is Roger Marr taking it right out to the edge, in fact an inch or two more than the edge, and that lets Forrest Dunn through into 4th place.
And I think this time we
Here comes Tweed on the brakes. This is a bit too close for comfort. Fitzpatrick holds his line and Tweed has to back off immediately. Tweed looking for another run at Fitzpatrick. Tweed wide, Fitzpatrick tight, and Tweed needs to leave it as long as he can before braking to make the sweep around the outside. Here they go. And Fitzpatrick times it just right and holds off his rival. Now it's about exit speed and who has the most, as they are practically joined at the hip. And Tweed goes through. Perhaps he was able to draw on that little extra corner speed he had and push through on a very narrow stretch of road and a very bumpy stretch of road, as shown by the front forks, which look like the forks of a motocross bike, the way they're constantly moving up and down. In all the excitement, we've almost forgotten about Dominic Herbertson in 3rd and Forrest Dunn in 4th. Fitzpatrick may chance a move through this section. That isn't the case as he tucks back in behind Tweed. And Roger Marr with a small mistake and loses ground on Dunn. Tweed still fending off the attentions of Fitzpatrick, while Herbertson looks as if he could pounce at any moment. They have just over 3 miles to sort themselves out, as they will soon see the last lap flag. There it is. Tweed pulled a gap. And Herbertson now a threat to Fitzpatrick, who hops, skips and jumps toward the turn. Forrest Dunn seemingly out of the running for a podium position. The biggest question mark at present appears to be over who will finish 2nd. Two wheels in the air for Tweed, and he needs to push because he has the cavalry on his tail. Forrest Dunn just not quite able to get into the mix. Lots of shapes from Fitzpatrick. He's not given up on this one yet. However, time's not on his side. He needs to make a move sooner rather than later, because overtaking opportunities are now thin on the ground between here and the checkered flag. Oh, it looks like Tweed has this. Oh my goodness, that is hopping and sliding at the same time. But surely he now has this sewn up. It will be Daryl Tweed from Kevin Fitzpatrick, then Dominic Herbertson, with Forrest Dunn just missing out on a podium. Just over a second, covering the top 4 across the finish line in a fantastic 600cc Supersport race. Daryl Tweed just getting the better of Kevin Fitzpatrick.
Well, Daryl, give us your reaction to that race win.
I don't know how to put it into words, to be honest. It's my first 600 national win, so it is, so absolutely over the moon. How delighted altogether. So,
was the start key for you?
Not so much, no. I did get a good start, but I sort of ran on into the first corner and let a couple of the guys by, and I had a bit of work to do, but I just sort of kept my head down and went for it, and got them in sneaky wee places they weren't expecting.
Next, it's the battle of the big bikes in the Britton Memorial Race. Coming up, it's the final action of the day at the Enniskillen 100 in Northern Ireland. But first,
the 400s are away. Stephen McKeown leads them, but it's tight for second. Paul Williams, the one to watch as he slips into second. It's all rather congested. Darrell Anderson, Gareth Keys, Alan Johnston, Alistair Howarth moving quickly. They hit the crest. It's still McKeown, Williams and Anderson. Alistair Howarth looking very menacing in 4th place, as does Williams. He continues to hassle McKeown. Well, Williams has found his way through, and having set pole in qualifying, he now leads the race. looks increasingly like being a two-way fight for honours. And indeed, the lead is back with McKeown again, but for how long? Williams close enough in second to strike at any moment. Still no change, but the gap between them on the road, well, that remains the same really. Who will it be as the checkered flag is waved? It's McKeown with Williams in second. So third place finish for Darrell Anderson ahead of Gareth Keys and Alistair Howarth. Paul Williams in second, Stephen McKeown, the race winner.
One of Northern Ireland's most talented and most loved riders was Richard Britton. He sadly lost his life while racing back in 2005, but he's fondly remembered here in his hometown of Enniskillen.
Yeah, but Richard, well, I started roads 2003, and like Richard was up there like an idol of mine. And I remember maybe 2004, I'd been doing it for about a year, and we two of us were standing at a petrol station looking at magazines. There was, people still bought magazines back then, and he looked over, he goes, "Ah, Paul." I was like, yes, you know, he knows my name. He was a big loss. He was a great guy, a really, really great guy.
And obviously flew the flag for this part of the world down in Fermanagh as well.
Yeah, the green and white, you know, the Fermanagh colours, and just the Fermanagh hometown hero.
And how important is it here to have the feature race named after Richard?
It's great because, you know, it's what, 13, 14 years now since Richard has passed, and time goes past. There's people in the paddock that have, you know, never met him, never seen him race, and to keep names of the legends going, it's important, I think, anyway.
Richard Britton, undoubtedly one of the nicest sportsmen the sport has produced. Fittingly, the feature race here is named after him, the Richard Britton Memorial Race for the Open class. It will be a cracker.
Kevin Fitzpatrick is in pole position as they form up on the grid for the Fermanagh and Omagh District Council Richard Britton Memorial Race. It's the last action of the day, 6 laps the distance this time. Fitzpatrick, Maxwell done on row 1, Marr and Tweed on row 2. And Maxwell away quickest as he pushes to the front, riding with Dominic Herbertson from row 3 of the grid. And no sooner are they on the power than they're on the brakes, slowing down. Oh my dear, oh, Ryan Marr gets it all wrong and Darrell Tweed has to react quickly, which he does. That was close. Maxwell from Fitzpatrick then done. Herbertson up to 4th from row 3, Tweed 5th, and thankfully he's still upright. One of the tightest sections of the circuit. It's fairly narrow all the way around, but this part particularly so. Kawasaki 1 and 2 at the front. And that was Forrest Dunn in a hurry as he whizzes past Fitzpatrick as if he hit turbo boost. And Forrest Dunn now the major threat to Thomas Maxwell at the front. Now, is this a change for the lead of the race as Dunn looks for a move on the brakes inside Thomas Maxwell? No, it's not. Fitzpatrick still 3rd, with Herbertson close by in 4th, Tweed still involved, and these 5 appear to be the main contenders for honours. Front wheels in the air and a little bit more from Forrest Dunn, and no one can accuse them of not trying. Could be that we've saved the best till last. Maxwell still being hassled by Dunn, with Fitzpatrick, Tweed and Herbertson still very much in the picture, although Herbertson slips back a place. Well, Forrest Dunn blasted past Kevin Fitzpatrick earlier, and Thomas Maxwell's getting the same treatment, but can he slow in time for the turn? I would say so, and the rider from Cornwall in England has timed that to perfection. Great move. He now leads the race. Or does he, as Maxwell twists back the throttle, but he doesn't have the low-end grunt, or certainly isn't able to use it to force his way back past Dunn. Forrest Dunn, and a big moment for Kevin Fitzpatrick. His back wheel looking for grip, and it kicked in just in time. That was a heart-in-mouth moment, and not just for Fitzpatrick. The speed they're riding at, he probably didn't notice too much. He's just pushing the front part of the bike in the direction he wants it to go. Let's get our breath back and recap. It's now Dunn, Maxwell, Fitzpatrick, Tweed and Herbertson, the top 5 in that order. Or is it as Maxwell goes back through? Does Dunn have a problem? David Murphy just perhaps missing his braking point. Still not sure what happened to Dunn. His leg seemingly went out to let Maxwell through, or did he slip in his seat as Maxwell gets it wrong, goes wide, tucks back in and holds on to first, or does he? As Dunn certainly has the straight line speed to retake the lead. How close is this? 5 riders all in contention. The man to watch though has to be Forrest Dunn. He certainly looks to be on the fastest bike, and he will have the opportunity to use it. Dominic Herbertson's already a race winner today. He's 5th with 4 good riders ahead of him, but he is still close enough to be a threat. Some very dark skies in the distance as they begin the last lap. Can Maxwell hang on to his lead? Herbertson fashioning a move on Tweed for 4th. Here they go, but he's unable to pull it off. Well, this should be the 3 podium finishers, but in what order when they cross the finish line? Can Forrest Dunn use his speed again along this section? This is quick, super quick. As Dunn does indeed power his way back into the lead, but now he has to slow, which he's doing, and he protects his line. And Forrest Dunn may have worked this to his advantage. He looks to have made his move just at the right time, but can Maxwell hit back? This is going to be close, very close, and not just past the checkered flag. There's hardly any room, yet they're making room. And it's Forrest Dunn who takes the checkered flag. What a fantastic finish to a fantastic day's racing. Enjoy the moment, Forrest Dunn. What a race that was. 2 seconds covering the top 3 across the line. Kevin Fitzpatrick 3rd, Thomas Maxwell 2nd, and Forrest Dunn the race winner.
Forrest, congratulations. These wins are like buses. You wait for ages for one and then you get 2.
There was a couple of handling issues. There was a lot of tank slapping. You'll probably see it on the video footage, but it just kept her going. You know, made the odd little mistake here and there, but you know, we'd managed to rectify it. I just sat with Tommy and then I saw my chance and just went for it. So yeah.
Sum up your day for us.
How do you?
A brilliant double for Forrest Dunn, and it puts him 4th on the leaderboard in the race for the Metzler King of the Roads title, which is still being led by Derek Shields. It's farewell from County Fermanagh, so until next time, goodbye.